Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. By the way, there is a link. I don't know if it clipped. There's a link in the bottom of the screen. It's for the Call of Cthulhu bundle over at Humble Bundle. The link is a shortened link. It's tenkar's-tavern.games/COC. Call of Cthulhu bundle is an awesome deal. I've already snagged it. It's good for another 4 days. If you want to know how you can support this channel, because we don't do sponsorships, we don't sell merch, right? We have affiliate links, or you can join. You can always join the channel. There's a link in the description of this episode. You I think it's $2 a month. Hey, why not? So this was not the video I planned on doing. I planned on digging into some of those voice recordings that are up on YouTube regarding, I'm going to call it hashtag dungeon drama. I don't like the other name that is being pushed for it, but yeah, the dungeon drama that's going on. There's confirmation that these audios are legit. However, that confirmation is also indicating that although the audios are legit, they might not have been legitimately recorded. Yes. The methods of this leave a lot to be desired. So, what do we have up on the screen? This is Grim Jim. James is doing a great job covering this. Really, he's on top of this. God bless him. Another public confirmation of dungeon drama from the execrable Olivia Hill. Olivia Hill was known under a prior name at one point. Questions about ethics, etc., which James shares, and I'll tell you the truth, I'm beginning to share too, are irrelevant to the point of whether or not this article is a truth bomb. Objecting to being caught dishonestly doesn't mean you didn't get caught. And that is actually pretty darn truthful. So, let's go to Olivia Hill's own Twitter feed. And I think we will find that to be quite productive. Hey, hey, I talked to the person who wrote that article. All right, so we know that the article, if this person exists, we kind of, I had people tracking this stuff down, none on my initiative, but they were sharing their results. She presented herself as an academic, and we spoke on the phone numerous times. She called herself a friend and told me I could call anytime I needed. I did. Then I found out she went to the person that hurt me to dig dirt. Ironically, I found this is all from today, all from about 6 hours ago. Ironically, I found out because the person in question reached out to me and shared her questions. It looked super sketchy that she was asking extremely timely questions. One would only know to ask if they talked to me. So she obviously violated journalistic ethics. I'm going to repeat something that I learned in the police academy. They told us as cops, never talk to the media, never talk to a journalist. You know what? They were right. Unless you personally know the individual, and that's how these certain like news stories that you see on the channels, that they get these anonymous sources because they've been vetted and they know that, all right, this journalist won't give me up. Many of them do. I have sources, I don't give them up. And that's why a lot of times I will say, count this as a rumor because I can't validate it. Well, you know what? We now know this article is certainly validated. Going back to Olivia. And when I say timely, I mean I had a conversation where I was sobbing, and less than an hour later, my friend reached out with screenshots. I instantly blocked Cleo and never spoke to her again. She never once asked me for proof of anything. Now, this is where it gets a little. She told me that as a clinical psychologist, her paper was more about the effects of harassment and abuse. So she would talk me through basic cognitive behavioral therapy and ask, How does this make you feel? So you wouldn't think that you'd be part of an expose with that kind of a, I don't know, relationship with this person doing a paper as opposed to acting as a journalist. And again, I believe that this is an accurate portrayal of what went on against Zach, with the caveat that Zach is an asshole. Ask anybody who has dealt with him. Most of their opinions are he's not a pleasant person to interact with online. That doesn't mean that you should be making up false stories and lying about an individual and going along with stories that have no evidence. But I digress. In fact, here's the exact moment I knew she was engaging in unethical journalism. I can't pull up my call logs from 3 years ago, but this is when it happened. This was right after I got off the phone with Cleo. So, I gotta open and big in this, I think. Um, or maybe not. Okay. Unfollow this person, maybe. This is a friend of Olivia. Why? Wait, why? I know her. Oh. Now, this is from April of 2021. This is Olivia, she's literally been working with me for about 2 years on an academic paper about online abuse in regards to Zach Smith. I forgot she got her Twitter. Oh, shit. She wants me to tell her about the RPG scene and harassment patterns. I'm so sorry. Olivia, oh gosh. I get why she's reaching out. Fuck. Wow. So, and then let's go on to the next tweet. Here's me telling a friend to talk to her because Cleo presented herself as a friend I could talk to about anything. Now, uh, this, of course, is a tactic that law enforcement will use with you when they're interviewing you potentially as um, an offender, right? Maybe you're not quite in that box yet. We're going to try to do things to bring us on the inside. And I could see maybe your therapist wants to make a connection, but a journalist shouldn't be doing that if she's going to be doing this as a journalist. But also, she told me she'd be publishing her paper through Columbia, where she teaches. Turns out that was a lie, too. And then was the email, hey, I got a friend who's doing a paper on the Zach thing and online abuse in general. She's a professor from Columbia University. She was asking if I knew anyone who could potentially speak on those issues. So I told her I'd reach out to you if you'd be so inclined. And then, of course, you got the email for Cleo. The reason she posted it and immediately deleted it, meaning the article in question, we have to presume was because she had a single friend at academia, which she should, as a Columbia professor, or an attorney. They would tell her that her article could be a career ender with how unethical it is. The fraud deleted her website too. This means she also deleted the email account she used for all this. Definitely the act of someone acting ethically, and here is the website, cbweisman.com. I'll check it out later. Oh, hey, I just found out she dropped a bunch of audio on YouTube. It wasn't her. It wasn't her. Okay, there are numerous third parties that have put it up, including, I believe, Grim Jim. She never asked my permission to record that audio. Depends on the state she was recording from. Some states only require single consent. New York State is one of them. I believe Pennsylvania is another. I don't know the others offhand. So as long as the side that's making the recording is a single consent state, doesn't matter where you are, it's doesn't crossing state lines, there's no issues. Unless they made the recordings from a state that doesn't allow recordings unless it's full consent, meaning all sides of that conversation. So, Oh, hey, fun addition where you get to see her being intentionally manipulative. Hindsight is 2020. So this is from June 2020. As this is Cleo. Now tell me if you find any issues with this, because I certainly do. As a sexual abuse and assault survivor, I take this work very seriously and personally. So if at any time you feel uncomfortable or upset, please let me know. I never want you to feel unsafe, pressured, or otherwise harmed by any work we do together. This is hard stuff to talk about and to listen to. And throughout the process, we can always check in to make sure we are both feeling comfortable and secure. So Cleo is also trying to say, listen, this might upset me. I need to take a little time. We, that's just trying to get yourself in. Zach S had a. And why doesn't she refer to him as Zach Smith? But all right. Zach S had. This is Cleo. Now, if you've read the article, and again, I will link that article here as a pinned comment. Zach S had a pattern of warning signs and red flags and behavior that gets ignored or minimized over and over, which is exactly what this article does, by the way. This article minimizes Zach's own assholiness. And this needs to stop. Your history with this and him will be really helpful, and I am hoping to bring some much needed focus and energy to the issue. Cleo Bella Weissman, PhD, DSW, MPhil L, CSW. So, you would think from that email that this was going to be a Zach Smith hit piece, right? But it isn't. It's the redemption of Zach. It is, I don't know. Zach is the second coming. Certainly seems like the man has no sins and is the perfect individual to converse with, so long as you follow his rules. So, if this email, and I don't believe it's photoshopped. I know some people like to claim everything they don't agree with is photoshopped. If this is true, that 3.5 years ago, Cleo was saying that she was investigating Zach because of warning signs and red flags and behavior that gets ignored or minimized over and over. And then she comes out with an article that says, Zach is awesome. Something very strange is happening. Oh, and this is the moment I should have known. She was muckraking. The second someone insists you can't interact in text, that's the second you should know they're trying to control the narrative. Can we do tomorrow at 7:30 your time? And what platform would you like to use? Skype, regular phone call? I am slightly technologically challenged. So funny she went to all that trouble to insult all of us after acting friendly, sympathetic, and ingratiating. Cleo from 2021. Thank you for this and for the chat the other day. You've been great help and a pleasure to talk to as well. I have a couple of quick fact checky type questions if you have time this week. I messaged her, again, Olivia, to ask if she could get me a copy of the release form I signed. I didn't sign one. Oh, shit. She blocked my number. So, folks, that was not the video I planned on doing. And by the way, there is some news in game. In gaming. I hit the wrong button there. There's some news in gaming. Troll Lord Games, Gary Gygax stuff. I will get that up later on tonight. So this is the Dungeon Gate update. Again, I'm going to link to the audio files. I am going to link to the article. Just because the means that this article was researched or released might not be the most ethical does not mean that what we're seeing is false. No, it means that people like Olivia did what they did and admitted to doing what they did, but now they're kind of exposed. So go figure. All right, folks. Again, that link on the bottom of the screen, the affiliate link. It will take you to Humble Bundle, and it's how you can support this show and get a great bundle of Call of Cthulhu material. In any case, so be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I will be back again tonight with the Troll Lord Games news update. Catch you later.